Welcome back, Dungeoneers. It's Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to play Dungeons & Dragons. You're watching Dice & Dungeons, and I'm here at the table with...
I'm David Wong. I play Nines at Tabaxavoy. Bard. Guy. Cat.
Badger.
I'm Nicole
Badger.
Bates. I play Sorian Sul, the Changeling, Druid, Lady, Cat, Furbog, Elf, Hobgoblin, Orc, Human again, Elf. I can do a lot of things.
Oh, Greg, I play Ulseth Ralph for a bog fighter.
I'm Alexis Bates, and I make stuff up for a living. So...
And if you want to support her living, go to patreon.com/DiceandDungeons. It's the best way to support the show. And get her food, I guess. And so, there's a variety of tiers you can check out. You can find DM notes, behind-the-scenes videos, hot takes, cold reads, all sorts of things. So just check it out. Patreon.com/DiceandDungeons.
I like food.
But where can you get food?
Can you get food anywhere in Iowa?
You can. And I have found out that Iowa, and if you watched last week, you're going to understand this, is responsible for Pancheros.
Oh, no.
No, just
And
talk about Geekified.
in Iowa, I got a bone to pick with you about Pancheros on this one, all right?
But
You
balancing out the Pancheros, it also features...
It does also
tabletop
feature
gaming store.
the city of Vinton, Iowa, which is the name of the city of Vinton in Iowa, is Vinton, Iowa.
Wow.
Wow.
What a name.
Wow.
That has like all the good letters in it.
And do you know what's in Vinton, Iowa?
Geekified.
What is...
Geekified! Geekified's in Vinton, Iowa.
You get a little excited there about
I love
Vinton, Iowa.
Geekified. It's so good. Who doesn't love Geekified? You love Geekified. You love Geekified. You love Geekified. You love Geekified. We all love Geekified. Mm-hmm. So if you live literally anywhere within 20 minutes of Vinton, you need to get your butt over to Geekified.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you can go online to
a plane ticket site and buy a ticket.
You can go to Google Flights and find an inexpensive bit of airfare into probably Cedar Rapids, because I don't know if Vinton has an airport.
Can you just airdrop
and then,
into Geekified?
You could just paraglide in.
Yeah, just paraglide in.
If you have
they will love that.
If you have the permits and licenses and stuff like that.
What are they going to do? Arrest you in the sky?
It's a tabletop gaming store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buy games there.
Or tabletops.
I don't think they sell
cards.
Wait, do they sell tabletops?
No.
Why not?
But they might have the mats to go on tabletops.
They do sell plenty of Magic the Gathering and assorted other card games. Those play mats that you can spend. And you know what? I used to think that those were silly. I used to not really think that was an essential part of playing a card game. Just like, oh, come on, we really need to have like a little mat. But actually, they're quite nice. Mm-hmm. They do kind of help like keep things in place. Mm-hmm. They have just the right texture. Because if you've played on a hard table surface, the cards kind of slide around and everything. They just help.
And then like little
depending on what
crumbs
was
scratch
spilled
them
on the table, they might stick.
Yeah.
So you can get lots of those there. And I quite like those.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the best thing is that you can support a local gaming store.
And Vinton, Iowa.
Yeah. Which, again, Vinton, you haven't come and picked up your award. Just reminding you. Mm-hmm. You have an award here. I can't show it to you because that would break the rules. That break the rules.
The award to you.
Of our award. Mm-hmm. We've awarded you Best Vinton, Iowa for 4 years running now.
Yeah.
I know that we weren't broadcasting.
Maybe we should
first year.
sweeten the pot with a Pancheros gift card.
No.
And so now what?
Well, I think we've covered our sponsors. And I guess that means that Dungeoneers...
We're going to Vinton, Iowa.
Let's roll.
Uh-oh.
Last week on Dice and Dungeons, our heroes, Midnight Brunch, used their magical powers to delve a bit more into the history behind the Tashir'anun. They learned of the powers the Hammer of Ilmtaro possesses, and caught a glimpse of Ulseth's teacher, Lon Firan, and his past. All of that perhaps done just in the nick of time, because as our session closed, none other than the Tashir'anun sailed ships into the docklands of Tabaxavoy. We rejoin our group as they look out the window of the Nikolovich home on the scene at the docks.
What the hell is this?
You summoned them with your spell.
I don't think I did that.
Yeah, you're not expecting visitors?
No, I'm not expecting 3 warships of visitors.
By the way, I didn't notice that you had a nice ocean view from your house. That's pretty nice.
It is a nice house. I've been telling you I've had a nice house. When I said we weren't going to visit my house.
So why do you think that they have come here? Are they after your Arat Mall?
I don't think that Tashir'anun care about my art mall.
Why not? It's a pretty nice parlor trick.
It is. I haven't used it in some time.
Hey,
They are not after your loot because
can you
have
guys...
lost that.
There's only room for the 3 of you at the window.
Oh, you want to look, Olin?
No, that's all right. Can you guys see what dock they're pulling into at all?
Well, I was looking with my spyglass.
Make
Are
a
there giant
perception check.
numbers on the docks?
Yeah, because, you need to know what pier and dock you're
No,
pulling into.
I prefer peer anarchy.
So,
Just
25.
1 Q $,
green.
3 cat faces. Same cat face.
Yeah.
umlaut.
Well, no,
Just
it's
that.
the cat face. You have see no evil cat face.
See no evil cat face.
Yeah,
and
speak
then
no evil
speak-
cat face, and then speak evil cat face.
Why? What
That one has
difference does it
angry
make what
eyes.
dock they are on, Hogan?
Well, I'm thinking we know that they're working with the Grotfells.
Well, I rolled a...
I told you we should have blown up that warehouse.
We were just at one of those warehouses. Are they blown up to the same one, or is something else going on?
Well, my perception of 25 tells me...
It's a long ways away, but you're 70% sure
I'm 70% sure
that
what?
that's the same warehouse.
it's the same warehouse.
Then why don't we blow it up? We blow up every other building we go into.
Because then they wouldn't have anywhere to dock. That would be mean.
So do, you,
There's plenty of room in the docks. They could park in green.
so do you think they are coming for the goo that they make the what do you call them from?
Mercury?
Yeah.
Goo daddies?
Goopables?
Do you think they are coming for the mercury? I
No.
thought that was an Ulstein Grotfeld thing. I'm
That is.
confused.
Well, let's see. I don't see any big signs on their ship that says what they want to do here.
No.
Wouldn't that be convenient? Just
We want to
So,
Destroy the world.
Last time you said I saw a huge figure on one of the ships,
Yeah.
like a 7-foot tall guy with a mask or something.
Yeah.
How tall was the forge?
Pretty tall.
Okay.
Does this guy have?
I know
armor?
exactly how tall the forge is,
Yeah,
You do.
you do.
and I know exactly how tall this guy is.
Weirdly, yes, you do.
Do they match?
They are really close in height. They're not exactly the same, but they are really close in height.
Can't you just turn into that guy and then just take the helmet off?
Well, I don't think I get to know
No.
his face
No, you can't.
because there's a mask.
Because she hasn't seen enough of this person to be able to take on their appearance.
Now, I could turn into what he looks like from this distance and take the mask off, but the face would just be a random
Would-
guess.
Would you just appear really far away, or
No.
So you are Zoria.
Yeah.
Is the tall figure in the mask holding a hammer?
I can't tell.
is it holding a
You-
heart?
You don't see,
Is that how it works?
from the distance and the angle, you can't make out if there's a hammer being held. They're not holding one.
And I think
You can't make out if there's like something hanging from a belt or anywhere else.
I think he has hands though, so he might be the hand.
You also can't see any particular like weapon or anything. It's just a little bit too far away to
Yeah,
make
it's
out
pretty
some of the
far off.
fine details.
Dromar's spyglass could be better.
We should have bought the spyglass when we were at that store.
Oh yeah, A1 magic?
Yeah, they may have had a better one
Probably.
or a cheaper one.
Probably.
Yeah, it
So-
would have been called like a spoogaglook or something like that.
If we look back at our history, we do know that the Forge was working with the Ulstein Grotfelds for a reason. Do we know why?
Yes. So, from my recollection, Berkelion set up an arrangement with the Tashir'anun in order to get military backing to try and start a war to install his family on the on the Ulfstein throne.
But the Tashir'anun would
But-
not do that for somebody else. They would only do it for themselves.
Well, if you have someone in your pocket on the seat of a country, that gives you a lot of power. However, Berkelion is currently being worn by nines. And I think Glinvi and the Tashir'anun didn't get along quite as well.
Yeah, and Glindy is away at the moment.
And Glinvi is here
Oh,
in
is-
Tizitstan.
oh, Glindy
Remember,
has come back.
we-
I thought she had gone.
We saw her arrive and take a carriage south. She was heading down to Tizitstan.
Right.
So
So
maybe
she is not here, but she's nearby.
she's nearby. So they might be coming for her. They might be coming to support her. They might be coming to. Maybe they're not as happy with her now. Like she's not holding up her end of the bargain like Berkelion was. We're not sure.
If this is an issue between the Tashir'anun and the Ulstein Grotfelds, then that would be good. Do we have any reason to believe that they know that we are here?
Well, we took an Ulfstein Grotfell ship. It arrived here in port.
As an Ulstein
And
Grotfeld?
I think it's still there. Wait, did we send the captain off with it?
I don't remember.
Wow, we really should write that down.
What did we do with that boat?
Use your spyglass. You see the boat?
Do I see our boat?
You do not see the boat.
Boat's not there.
Did we sink it?
No, I think we gave it to. I think the captain was going to take it to join the Company of Blades for his work there.
No, we could probably ask
So-
the Company of Blades then.
Since we are at the Company of Blades
Nines' house, yes.
Yes,
No.
we're at Nines'.
No, we are at the Company of Blades.
No, we're not.
Yes,
Oh. No,
we are.
but there's
we
a
are,
ruse. We're pretending to
We
be.
are there, and we are not there, but we are there. And since we
We're
are
here in Nines'
since we are there, but we're here, but we're not here.
Yeah.
So, if the Tashir'anun are looking for us, they would go to where we are, which is the Company of Blades.
We're not Nines' house, which
Not
is where we
Nines'
are.
house, which is where we are, but not. So,
What?
we
We're
we.
Nice, keep up.
I can't.
Why don't we ask Sonara
I think
about
it would be-
what's going on?
Well, we can, but I think it would be safe that if we remained here, if they were after us, we would observe them going to the Company of Blades.
And then when they find we're not there,
They would think that we were just wandering around
They
somewhere
would
because
go-
we're not here.
they would go, hey, Nines' family lives here. Let's torture them for fun and draw Nines out.
I don't like that. Let's not do that part.
I don't think it's us doing that part.
Well, let's not give them the idea to do that to me.
So,
Okay, I won't tell them.
Thank you. Let's get into worry for a moment.
so who might know why they are here?
Well, you didn't even know they had boats.
Technology so far in the future.
I did learn that they had boats.
Just recently.
Yes.
But we do have someone literally in Nines' house here, not in the Company of Blades' house.
Mm-hmm.
But Nines' house where we're not.
Yes. That's
Um,
who would what?
who could maybe tell us a little bit more about what they're doing here?
Why don't we ask?
Because we're like crammed in Nines' room or something right now.
Well,
I don't
Yeah, I don't know
know.
why you're all in here. Outside of I have the best window.
I thought the best chandelier.
You're gonna have more than one of the best things in the house.
Well, you did have a good view
It's not-
that allowed us to see the Tashir'anun landing at the Ulstein Grodfeld's warehouse, where I hope that they will just stay and perhaps have an internecine battle.
Yes, I have a very cinematic house.
Well, let us do some investigating. Would you like to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, it's the Tashir'anun are your thing.
Well, then let us go find them and ask them.
Sonara!
Yes, let them know
actually,
that we're
Sonara
here.
was staying here with you guys.
Oh.
Wasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to remember if you'd had her stay at the Company of Blades house or not, and then I remembered, no, we had a long discussion about how many people go into what room,
Yes.
We're all
and
at the Company
Sonara
of
was
Blades
counted
house.
here.
We're all at the Company of Blades house.
Did everyone?
So you who are Sonara,
Is everyone just still in their beds in the guest floor? I guess that was added when Nines wasn't around.
I mean, I think I just narrated when you guys woke up in the morning and you look out the window, you see this. So
Yeah.
everyone was kind of in separate rooms.
Yeah.
well,
I didn't narrate where you are now, and I'm just going to assume that Since
we're looking
all
at
of your
great distance, we're
usual-
at the highest point of the
all of your usual habits, based on quite a few times of waking up, seem to be that Nines and Ulseth go, I'm hungry, must eat. And
But
then you go to the wherever the food is, which is usually where Soria is.
Well, we
we've
were
been
distracted.
distracted by the ships. And,
I'm getting
and
there.
that's Danger.
I think we're all just in our own rooms and we were just shouting because that's how this house kind of works.
And you woke up, food, groggy, kitchen, coffee, window. Oh crap.
So we're
Did we do a wait, real quick?
That's sort of my like. This was the natural evolution.
Did-
We didn't narrate all that, but that's kind of where I've.
Okay.
Did we
been
do a
picturing
spit
guys.
take when we saw the warships?
Do you want to?
Well,
No.
yeah, I did because
Obviously.
taking the coffee, like, oh, nice morning. Warships. Oh, Seth, take a look at this, and he comes up. He's taking a sip. Boosh. That's what you make when you spit out coffee.
And now we can't see out the window.
And then I
because it's all
go,
covered
why are
with
their
coffee."
ships so brown? I thought they had silver and green as their colors.
So do I know where Sonara is?
Yeah, Sonara has made her way down to breakfast.
Okay. So I go and say, you who are Sonara,
Yeah.
well, drink your coffee quickly and then come look at this.
What am I looking at?
Look out the window.
Well, look out the window. You will see what you're looking at. You cannot see out the window, can you?
This window's disgusting. There's so much coffee and spittle on it. It was so gross.
We grab the corn cob.
The cleaning corn cob and wipe off.
So Nara, do you know what this is?
Not good?
Yeah, I'm not happy about it either.
Why do you think that they are here?
Well, I think I can safely enough rule, like, me out. I don't think I was ever important enough to warrant the largest response I've ever seen.
Well, good for you. You are now safe. What about the rest of us?
Yeah, what about if we blew up one of their bases?
Well, okay, look, here's what I think is probably going on. So, those ships are not used very much.
Does that mean they are old and creaky and leaky and about to sink?
Far from it.
Oh, that is too bad.
They're incredibly well maintained, but they've actually been kept in a, cave to hide them from everybody. They're supposed to be kind of a secret. Don't get me wrong, every Tashir'anun soldier learns about them. But much like everything else in the Order, we're sworn not to talk about it.
Are there more of these? Or can we steal them?
3 ships, or are there more ships?
As far as I know, there's 5. But there could be more, and some ships might be masquerading as merchant vessels and could suddenly switch, but I recognize these 3. There's 3 out of the 5 from those cave systems that are, just underneath the keep. It's a really hard cave to see when you're looking at the cliffside. It's just got kind of a weird optical illusion that hides the entrance. Once you're right up next to it, of course, it's right there, but these things are, I don't know, almost more symbolic than anything else, at least in the way I always thought about it. We did training on it, and there were definitely groups of us that learned how to sail, but we never used them. We used other ships, and we, took off our armor and everything else, and didn't dress up like Tashir'anun, because it's not like we're a hateful fascist cult or something like that. So we did learn how to sail, we just didn't use them. The fact that they brought these out means that they're getting really bold. And if there's something to pay attention to here, you guys said that they were doing stuff with the Ulstein Grotfels, right?
Yeah, so from what we understand, they were working with Brukelian, the former heir apparent of the Ulstein Grotfels, before he disappeared. We killed him.
Yeah, you told me that.
Okay. And I think that plot was around getting the Ulstein Grotfels on the Ulstein throne. But I don't know if that's still the plan with Glenvy. She seems much more focused on these goopables.
Goop. Oh, those things.
Yeah, the Goo Daddies.
The silver guys.
Silvery melty
The
guys.
Obama buddies.
Those are from the Ulstein Grotfels?
Yeah. And the Ulstein Grotfels are shipping mercury from Tizitstan to create them. At that port, probably 70% chance.
The one we should have blown up. What?
You want to blow up your own home city.
No, just the parts that are evil.
So, how much was Brukelian invested in these silver disgusting things.
They didn't appear until after he was dead. They were doing alchemical enhancements on their living soldiers. But the Silver Corpse soldiers didn't appear until Glenvey took over.
That is true. So perhaps, well, and Glindy is very much involved in the shipment of the mercury.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So we can rightly suspect that Glindy has to do with the melty metal people,
So
the goopers, or whatever you call them.
Goopables.
Goopables.
I'm just kind of guessing here. I want you to know, I certainly never was privy to any of their machinations or certainly their reasoning. One thing that the Forge in particular did not take well to was if you crossed him, he would stop at nothing to make your life miserable, if not just outright kill you, depending on who you were. The man's a psychopath.
Vengeful.
What if, because Brukelian isn't there anymore, and Glenvey's got her own ideas, what if they're not so cooperative anymore?
Well, that's one thing we were thinking.
That is what I am hoping, because if the Tashir'anun are planning to, perhaps have an altercation with Ulstein Grotzfels, then they are not here to pursue us.
If that's
Not that we have ever crossed.
if that's
Yes, we have.
we've crossed them quite a bit.
Yeah.
If
I was
they-
about to say,
Especially, well, you were very aware of that.
especially the Forge.
Yeah, especially.
Um,
I do not think that we have crossed the other two.
If they were coming after the Ulstein Grotfels, would this show of force make sense?
depends on how many Grotfels are here.
Maybe we should sneak down to the
Encounter
warehouse
Grotzfels.
and just see if it's a, hey, we're all getting along kind of environment down at the warehouse, or if it's a, oh wow, you just slit the throats of all the Grotfel
In
soldiers
the middle
here.
of their pizza party.
In the middle of their once a month pizza party.
Do you think that we can safely sneak there?
Well,
Oh,
no,
you can.
but
Well,
we
that
can
is
try.
Well,
that
you
is
can.
a terrific plan then.
But what else are we gonna do? Just hide until Salas shows up?
Maybe?
Maybe
Well,
if they're not
Tashir'anun
looking,
fan out through the city,
if they do not find us
beating
until then,
up every
then-
tabaxi.
I mean, there's a lot of tabaxi. That'd be a lot of beating up, but I don't think they would.
I don't know. There's a lot of people to feed. Are they gonna buy all the food or just gonna take it?
Does there seem to be like activity in the streets due to this?
Yeah, is any? Do we
Yeah, is it
notice
like
anyone
anyone- yeah, is
noticing?
there-
Well, we're pretty far from it.
weird.
It's-
Yeah, I know, but you would
yeah, but
see.
it's something.
Take a look and see if there's anything.
There's smoke billowing up.
We grab some paper towel, we clean off the windows.
Okay,
I mean, somebody must have
What-
noticed that the three ships have come in, and that was an unusual event. So are they like all scurrying away and hiding like they do in the Western movies, where they clear the streets?
Or they like walking towards it,
Well-
being like, "Oh, what's
Walking toward
that? That's weird."
here's...
Is there a welcoming committee? Is there a...
We're really far away.
I want to help you three kind of understand the larger context, because I understand what you're asking. If the three of you saw these ships come in, you have the context to understand what those symbols, those colors mean. Most people don't. You're talking about, a secret, highly militarized fascist cult organization that most people don't interact with and is thought to pretty much only be centered in Costeria. You're in Tabaxavoy, part of the Free States of Gormazan. That reaction that you would understandably be looking for isn't really there. Because
It's just some ships.
like, to everyone else, It's a really busy port. Some ships are pulling in. They don't really know. Like, there's not people wandering around like, oh, well, what's going on? It's 3 ships out of like hundreds that are coming in, and only because you have the context do they mean anything to you.
That's why I think we should just check out the warehouse, see if it's looking like there's a coup happening or internally, or if they're just reinforcing things.
Yeah, then we'll blow up the ship.
We'll get a temperature gauge. And Sonara,
Yeah,
there's like a 7-foot tall guy with a silver mask on that ship.
doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could be someone with their armor on. 7 foot tall's, you know, a little taller than the Forge. He was kind of the tallest that I ever knew in there. You know, particularly tall for an elf. But he wasn't quite that tall.
So,
And you already know that part, of course.
yeah, so
It could be the
there's,
Forge with lifts on, though.
well,
could be
or
slightly more
maybe it's
intimidating.
just like a lieutenant, like a tall Tashir'anun.
Tall
Sure.
shirt.
Yeah.
Well, if you think that we can do the sneaking, can you do that? Can you do that spell like pass with no trace thing?
I mean, yeah, but why don't we just go in our disguises?
Well, yeah. That's
Yeah.
We're not going
we can try.
we're just walking by like, oh, what's going on over here? We're going this way.
okay. You do that.
Yeah, we're just going to get some pretzels at the dock.
just
That's where
wait
the
here?
best pretzels
Do you
are.
want me to just go and you?
No, you do the thinging, you know, and we'll just follow.
No, I don't know.
Well, you said
I do this.
we will go by and say, oh, what are you going in? You just like that. I can't do that very well.
We
How about we just wear some funny, some
Funny
hats? Well, not funny hats, just regular hats.
Oh, like
Well, we already-
normal person
we
yeah,
hats.
have
normal people hats.
We have our disguises.
I open up the closet in your house and look for some hats.
How long I turn into Thomas?
All right.
You only have it for like an hour, though, right?
Yeah, well, let's get going.
We leave with Thomas.
With a hat.
Yeah, we put the hat on Thomas.
Okay,
All right.
you lead the way.
Okay. We
do-
go.
I lead the way. It's my city.
Oh, do you
We
know
go.
the way?
We
Yes.
Well,
go
lead the way then if
casually-
you know the way.
We travel casually to the warehouse,
We're very
but not
casual.
going into the warehouse.
We're
just near
walking
it.
casually.
We all grab
Just like everybody
newspapers and just
else.
look at it and be like, I can't believe this.
We buy hot dogs and throw them down alleyways. That seems to be a thing that happens.
That's what the most normal people I've seen in these
The cult
cities. Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they did that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So,
Since
Your goal here-
Wait, I go back and get another hot dog because I meant to eat it.
Yeah.
I thought you
Do
didn't
we
just pick
pass?
it up from
Do we
the house.
pass a pretzel place? We're being casual.
sure.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we carry pretzel
We'll
hot dogs.
carry pretzels.
No one ever, if you have a hot dog
On a
and you're
pretzel
just in a
bun.
public place, no one thinks twice about you.
Exactly.
You're a
That's
weirdo
right.
with a hot dog.
Yeah,
You're just someone with a hot
we've
dog.
learned that
So
from
we-
a certain artist.
So we have hot dogs to blend in.
And pretzels.
The Tabaxavoy, are they called hot cats?
So we get our hot cats and we just casually
Pretzels.
walk around the dock
I
station.
We walk.
I don't even know how to respond to that
You
question.
don't.
I'm not gonna.
We're gonna.
We get our hot
get-
cats and we.
We are very casually, very blending in, very much looking nonchalant.
Like
and-
dock workers
like
Yeah.
on
dock
lunch
workers.
break.
Or just kind of, or we just kind of like to watch ships, like people go to use, like,
I don't
go
think
to
we need a
airports
deep
and watch
backstory, but that's
Now we have to know, like, why you're here. Like watching
What?
ships. There's an interesting ship.
Yeah, just ship watching, eating the hot dogs and pretzels.
Dipping the hot dog in the pretzel. I got it backwards.
Can I ask, how would you dip the pretzel in the hot dog?
It goes right through the hole and you get to the other side and it's slightly salted.
No, just No, just don't. Just stop. We're at the docks looking at ships, being very casual, enjoying our hot dogs on a pretzel bun and our pretzels.
Yeah, my hot cat is now perfectly salted.
We're just. What do we see?
Yeah, what?
What do we get to the warehouse? We know which one it is because we've been there before.
Yeah.
Right, we'll never find out. Will we?
We went a little too hard on the hot dog.
Hot cat.
I did.
I'm truly broken here. I don't know where to take that one. So,
Well, we ate our food, so you don't need to think about that anymore.
Yeah.
great.
I don't know what to do with the mustard cup, though. There's no trash can, and the food that you eat, you just eat all of it, so you don't need to find a trash can. So I'm just holding this mustard.
Yeah, you are. Doesn't Tabaxavoy have like trash cans?
Yeah, but we're at the docks.
So
There's no food
what?
on the docks.
Not allowed.
Yeah, it's not allowed. It attracts birds.
So you just, we each hand you our mustard cup so that you can hold all.
So, what do we see?
What do we see when we very incredibly casually?
I really tried to just say, we go down to the docks, what do we see? But it got very mustard, hot dog, pretzel heavy all of a sudden, and I don't know how.
We're being casual.
That's how you be casual. So, the answer to what you see is, and I'm sorry, I'm recombobulating myself after whatever that was.
I'm sorry, I'm tired today. So.
You're fine. The docks. Refocusing here. The docks are tents at that warehouse.
The Ulstein Grotfelds are tents.
Everyone's tents there.
Oh.
You can, just like before, there were Ulstein Grotfelds moving around, standing guard outside. There's now Tashir'anun moving around among them. You can hear some disagreements. It's too echoey to make out anything that they're saying.
Do I have a spell for
If there's a spell that lets you do that within your repertoire, tell me. But unaided, you basically just hear well, I don't know if either of you two have ever been around a warehouse while it's operating. No.
Well, factory.
And there is some difference between a warehouse and a factory. I've been around both environments, mostly warehouse. So has David. And if you go away more than about like 10 feet from someone, you're going to shout because it's just loud. And in a factory, it's even louder. So this doesn't have all the machinery going, but it's still fairly loud, very echoey. And you can definitely hear there's more than just a communication sort of, put that here, move that over there, where does this go? That kind of is usual. And you got used to hearing while you were actually in that warehouse. There's anger in this. There's some sort of heated, echoing argument going on in there.
Use your helm.
Yeah, so I can read thoughts up to. Let's see.
Surface thoughts with the helm of telepathy.
I'm trying to see the distance in here. Why does it show me the distance?
Some of the tooltips don't always give the best information. You may have to go to the item itself.
That is what I'm.
Well, the spell itself.
It says it is 30 feet. You have to. Okay. Focus your mind on one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You initially learn surface thoughts.
Well, the guards still at their post.
Out front.
Tense.
Yes.
As we casually walk by,
Okay.
do a little
Casual walking.
casual mind detect thoughts.
Okay, so
Walking back.
I want to be clear.
So as I'm walking by, I'm like, wee wee wee.
I want to be clear that you're focusing on the Ulfstein Grotfell guard, right?
Right now, I take it there's not Tashir'anun guards. Are they standing right next to them?
There are Tashir'anun, yes. There's Tashir'anun out here, and there's Ulfstein Grotfell. The guards from before are pretty much. You don't know if it's the same ones. You don't remember clear enough if that was them, but they're in roughly the same spots that you were at, and the thoughts that you get are basically a bunch of expletives, which I won't say for the YouTubes because they're uptight about that.
But
I mean,
you-
we've
you
all
would
been on docks before.
Yeah.
so-
You could say it in the language that they speak.
If I actually wrote out the made-up language that they speak, sure, I
No, it
could.
But
I will say it
So they're
in the
saying naughty.
most YouTube appropriate way possible.
they're saying naughty words.
Poopy, poopy, poopy. Oh my poopy, poopy. There's so much poopy. We're all in so much poopy. That's basically the thoughts that you hear. Other things are mixed in, like, I wonder why they're here. What are they doing here? There's a lot of confusion and a lot of fear running surface level on. And you can touch on any of these, Grotfell guards.
Is there anything mixed in about how their commander disappeared the night before they showed up?
You do get a couple people thinking about, I wonder if it's because of last night. Or the other night, really.
Yeah.
Is it because of the other night? Is it because of that? I mean, we haven't even told Glenvy about that yet. You get some of that.
We get like the one guy that's not really paying attention to the office culture and is just wondering about the pizza party.
Not right now.
Not right now, okay.
No.
Probably all the armed guards
So,
wandering.
Do you want to risk?
Can you pick up
Yeah.
anything from the Tashir'anun?
Yeah, they're
I will do a service one on Tashir'anun. I'm not
not going deep.
not
them.
going deep because they've kind of already are mind. I assume a lot of them are mind altered already.
Or trained
Or
to
trained
detect
to.
that sort of thing.
Well, you do know, I'll remind you, because it's been a while, that your new friend, after you released her from the gaze, she informed you that that didn't seem to be practice everywhere.
That was only the Forge's personal.
So you don't have reason to believe that there's more, but it's understandable that you're cautious about it. I just want to be clear so you don't get yourself thinking like, oh yeah, I remember this, because it's been in real world time quite a while between now and when you heard that. So as you scan the thoughts of the Tashir'anun, you kind of hear similar things, although there's not as much fear. It's more, what are we doing here? Why do we sail all this way? Why don't we get the ships out? But what is going on? Like, what is it? They seem more confused. And just by looking kind of at body language, It looks like they're trying not to betray their confusion by giving that away.
Trying to look tough.
Yeah, they're trying to look serious, but underneath there's a lot of question marks going on in their heads.
So as we look around, do we see the tall masked figure at all?
No.
Do we see anybody who looks like they might be in charge?
No. Not outside the building. And to kind of go back a few episodes to this description of this area, the warehouses are all pretty much just in a line, arcing along the natural curvature of the coastline here. Very gentle curve. There's not much space. There's, like 4 feet of alley between each building. So enough to walk down, but, that's not actual path. And then every once in a while, there's like a big road kind of area where you could get large equipment through. And then the warehouses, and they all have big doors on either side of them, so you can move goods through them. But it's closed up, and the road is running on, we'll call it the back side of all the warehouses, and the water is on the front side of all the warehouses.
I mean, I could try and go in and spy as a wild shape, but I'll be all alone.
That's what I was wondering.
That's a risk
if you
we're
were
willing to
with-
take. That's for my home. Don't you want to sacrifice yourself for my home?
So is there any place we can walk to?
The answer is yes. I don't know why you're thinking so hard about it.
Is there any place we can walk to inconspicuously and casually to be able to see the ships?
I don't think
Or
so.
do we have to go
It's
past
like
the warehouses?
It's like fences.
Yeah, fences,
warehouses,
docks, yeah.
docks.
It's not that,
we
like-
might be able to see the tips of them.
Yeah, it's not that they've purposely put up blocking
No, it's just
net
the
or
way it's
anything.
built.
It's just the way it's built.
Are the warehouses really close? Can we look between them and get a peek through?
I mean, yeah, as you're walking down, you got that 4-foot little alleyway.
Yeah. Do we see anything interesting through those alleyways?
What kind of stuff are you looking for?
Well, are all
looking-
3 ships here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If that wasn't
looking-
clear before,
I just want to.
yes,
I'm
all
looking
3
for
ships are
somebody
here.
who looks like they're in charge.
No. At least in that little 4-foot gap,
No.
there's not. And that also, these are fairly large warehouses, so there's a good distance, because there's also a bit of distance between this fence line, then the warehouse,
And
then the
there's-
end of the warehouse,
And then a
and then
K
the
for the.
yep. Then you've got
loading
a
and
quay, and then you've got the actual pier and the docks. So
So it's a good distance.
it's a good distance. If there is someone in charge from this far away, it's going to be hard to figure out who that is.
All right.
Okay, well, you are Zoria. Do you think we have found out? Or you're not really Zoria right now, you are somebody else?
Yeah, I'm someone else right now.
No, do you remember its name?
Is it Tristan?
Tristan?
Yeah, Tristan.
Yeah, you who are Tristan.
Yeah.
Do you think that we have found out all there is to find out?
Well, I mean, I could go in as a little bug or whatever.
Oh, you might get squished.
I could go in as a seagull.
Might get squished.
Is that something you would feel safe doing?
Not
Oh.
really.
I did not think so.
But I will for Nines' hometown,
Thank
which
you.
I have a lot of patriotism towards.
Thank you.
Oh,
We have so much hospitality for you.
so I'm wondering, instead of going, into the warehouse, that if you just were to fly over the docks and see what you could find out about these ships and who was on them.
I mean, I could do a little roundabout. Maybe land by a window.
Maybe join in with some other seagulls so that you were just part of a flock.
I'll do a sparrow. They're smaller and less conspicuous.
And fly out with other sparrows as part of a flock.
I guess if you really want me to.
Yeah,
We do.
We do.
It would help the story.
You
What? What are you
might-
talking about?
You might be. Yes, could you please do that?
Yes, be a sparrow.
Okay. It's going to take my full concentration, though, so I won't be able to answer questions
Until you get back.
until I'm back.
We will wait until you get back.
Okay.
We'll still have commentary for some reason.
I'll
though.
probably be seeing things that will involve being, almost be like it's being narrated to me. And it might get interrupted if you start asking me questions while I'm doing all this.
Yes, we understand how this world works.
We cannot ask you questions when you are not here.
Okay, I turn into a sparrow.
Okay.
I'm going to start by flying around up high over the warehouse and the ships to get a bird's eye view
Okay.
and just assess from there.
You are a bird, so you will have a bird's eye view.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're flying around, Sparrow. No one's really paying any attention to you.
Tashir'anun don't have any bird watchers in their group.
It doesn't seem that way.
I don't get any surface thoughts. It's like, that's a pretty bird.
No.
Okay.
Not within the range that you can detect, at least.
Okay.
Maybe one out in the docks does, but you don't know. Too far away. You're flying around. There's a fair number of Tashir'anun who are working with a couple of dock hands to secure the 3 boats. The 3 ships, really. Boats makes them sound smaller than they are. And that all looks fairly normal. You notice that the Tashir'anun ships aren't really unloading anything.
Are they like, what kind of ships are they? Like huge war galleons? Are they like swift, smaller ships? Like,
It looks like 2 of them are smaller but pretty fast.
a
Sloop or schooner. And they're still, pretty large ships. They are seafaring. They aren't coastal ships. They are seafaring ships. But they are definitely built more for speed than transportation. Then there is a significantly larger vessel. It could be classified easily in the broad category of galleon.
a man of war.
The, again, fairly narrow description of man o' war is not quite perfect for it, but it's close. For whatever reason in my life, I, at one point, learned the distinction between man o' war and galleon and schooner and sloop. It's been quite a few years, but if I remember it correctly, galleon actually describes like a massive range of ships.
Yeah, it's pretty generic.
And it's not necessarily very descriptive. So this is closer to a man o' war,
Like how
or
many cannon decks are we talking?
there's 2 decks. At least you think. You aren't super familiar with seafaring.
I learned everything there is to know about sea.
So, you know a little bit, but you think there might be 2 gun decks?
I know what it's like to be on a ship that explodes.
You do. You do know that.
All right. Do I see the big guy with the mask?
No.
Okay. Not visible on the ships or outside the warehouse. So I suppose he's probably in the warehouse. I do know where the commander's room was because we've been through the whole place.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't a window to that room, if I remember.
Correct. There's no window in that office.
But I will, as a sparrow, are there any open windows on the 2nd floor?
Yes, there are open windows.
As a sparrow, I will sort of land on one of the windowsills, and, like, peck at things and try and look nonchalant.
Okay. You do that.
Can I see or hear anything coming from inside?
Yes. You trying to picture. Okay. From the vantage point, and I'm just gonna give you the most advantageous position rather than play a game of like, which one do you land on? From that position, you're able to hear what might best be described as a dressing down. It's muffled. You can't make out all the words. When you first land, there's some notes of perhaps resistance or pushing back. After a minute or two of sitting there, and you're doing your best to just hop around and be innocuous, it becomes quite clear that one side has very much cowed the other. There's not pushback after a few minutes, and there is silence. Then you hear a door open. You don't have any line of sight to this. There's no position from the window to this area where you're going to witness it, but you can hear this. A door opens, closes hard. You're able to make out two very distinct footsteps. One is heavy and has quite a long step. So, thud, 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 thud. One is lighter and a little bit shorter, so thud, 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 thud. You don't know where they are inside, but the argument has stopped.
Guessing that they are going down the stairs.
Okay.
I'm going to fly down around the big opening door and sort of try and get a look in through that.
Okay.
Into the big loading bay.
You have, significant amount of visibility into the large cavern of the warehouse when you're outside the door. Just kind of perched on its edge. Looking in, you see that the Grotfells have just fully stopped loading and unloading anything. They are looking at the Tashir'anun with suspicion. The Tashir'anun are looking at the Grotfells with the same level of suspicion. Neither side seems to be happy that they are here. And you could best describe it as tense. You see a couple of figures towards the back. One of them is quite tall. And although the bright light of the exterior and the comparatively quite dim light of the interior is making the figures hard to, be certain of, just by sheer size, you're pretty sure that the person you see in the back is the same person you saw from the ship Very tall, mask. Still can't make out many details.
I've codenamed him Mr. Mask.
Why?
Yeah, the mask.
There's a clearly higher up member of the Grotfell soldiers. They're not wearing armor. Wearing a more office sort of outfit. They have a long coat on. Look fairly well dressed. This is not someone that you've seen before. You don't recognize them. Not from at least this distance. The tall figure seems to snap their fingers, and then many, but certainly not all, of the Tashir'anun gather up in front of him. Some of the Tashir'anun continue unloading a very few things from the ships and helping tie them up, but not much is coming off. What you do see coming off are some tables and chests. You don't know what's in them, but they are locked up. So, likely something sensitive. The assembled Tashir'anun seem to be waiting for this very tall figure to speak, and they don't have long to wait before he begins to utter. You all have your orders. Execute them. Get supplies. Take care of business. Let's be quick. And then he walks out of the warehouse through a small door that leads outside. You're familiar with that door from when you were in the warehouse. At that point, the rest of you, still waiting outside, see the very large Tashir'anun figure leaving the warehouse and exiting.
From the gate.
Yep.
Exiting what, into the city?
Into
Yeah.
the streets, yes.
How does he walk by us?
Oh, it depends on where you're standing, but, I mean,
Does he walk up in 30 feet of me?
how close do you want to get? I mean, this really does come down to
Wait,
how
Lord.
close do you want to be?
Well, we're being casual. And there's nothing more casual than walking down an industrial port area.
Casually.
Yeah, well, it'd be silly if a badger was doing it by himself. But if he was doing it with a fur bog, it just seems like, the part of a dock team.
A disguised furbog being Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas. Like, you're probably going over and be like, guys, I got this pet badger. And you're going to show it to the guys at work.
Yeah,
I believe
walking-
that story.
Let's walk as though we were going to a warehouse 3 warehouses down.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Just walking.
And we're like nudging each other, but like, don't look at that guy.
Yeah.
Don't look at the tall guy.
No. we're
I'm
not.
So
sure that
you're-
guy gets it all the time.
We talk to each other and we don't look around.
Yeah.
So, if I understand your goal, you're trying to casually walk down the sort of long access road here.
Yeah.
Just toward we want to
Back
make it-
towards the city is your general direction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to walk past the tall Tashir'anun guy within 30 feet, but not any closer than 20, as we are clearly talking with each other, not paying attention to anything other than our destination, which is yet to be reached.
Okay. So,
Because work at the docks.
the answer to my question of how close do you want to be
About 20.
and your response then leads me to other information I hadn't yet revealed. The large figure is walking that same direction. So if you want to get close to them,
Oh.
they don't just like go and stand outside. They start walking towards the city.
So we would have to walk really fast to catch up and pass.
My question was more about where you're standing. How close do you want to be to the gate there, where he's leaving from?
From the how close were you hanging out, waiting for me?
Well, we're on the other side of the gate, I think.
On
Yeah.
the outside of it.
We're on the outside.
But how close to? Well, you were within 30 feet because you were reading
Yeah.
the guys at the
But
gate.
did
right?
you stay there, or
Well,
did
you don't want to
keep?
stay. At some point, we would have moved because it'd be weird
Okay.
to just like stand at the gate, just like staring at a guy and being like,
And
wee, 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 wee.
that's sort of what I figured you'd do, but I wanted to know what you all chose to, because
you can walk up and they'd be like, move along, because they don't want to start any trouble. That
because
make their job
you
more
didn't
difficult.
want to draw suspicion. You kept walking away. You were out of range when the person, this tall figure, left.
Yes.
They begin walking towards the city with some sort of entourage of guards. At this point, they travel maybe a quarter mile down. If you recall from last time, this is quite far down from the city area. They get maybe a quarter mile down this stretch of road. And Nines, you notice, more specifically than Ulseth will notice this, that city guards are quickly moving down the street to greet this person.
Like they know this person
Well,
and they're greeting them, or this is more like, who are you? Welcome to the town.
it doesn't
Here's the key to the
seem
city
like
because you-
they're there for hugs and kisses. It definitely seems like the city and its watch are aware of this entity, whether they know the individual or they just know the organization. You're not sure, but you do see from a distance city guards basically escorting this figure. It doesn't seem to be out of politeness. The figure pauses and has a few words. For the sake of staying undercover, you don't get close enough to hear. But you see them conversing. And in almost a surprising casualness, the tall figure doesn't seem to be too perturbed by the city guards escorting them around. As they continue, more guards come,
More city guards.
and they start standing guard outside of the warehouse.
So they come to the warehouse where we are.
Yes.
And these are Tabaxi city guards.
Can I detect any of their thoughts?
Yeah. I'm keeping it YouTuber friendly. WTF.
Poop, poop.
What in the poopy poop is pooping over here? They don't know what's going on, but they are definitely suspicious of this activity. A couple more of the Tashir'anun exit the building at this point. Now, more than a couple. It's about 4.
Are they covered in blood?
No. They walk towards the city on their own. The city guards keep their eyes on them, but they don't move from their posts.
What are they thinking?
The thoughts you hear crossing their minds are, I gotta be quick, gotta be efficient, get in, get out, look strong, tough, intimidating. It's sort of like they're just going through a step 1, step 2, do this kind of list in their head. And they start heading off towards the city, separate from the other group. Soria, you've been able to see some of this movement. What do you want to do now?
Well, my party was very insistent I find some sparrows to get in a flock with.
Okay.
So, how long have I been doing this?
Probably been a total of about 30 minutes.
Alright, can I find a sparrow flock fairly easily around here?
Yeah.
Alright, so I have about 3.5 hours to hang out with this flock like they wanted me to.
I think we said 3.5 hours.
Well, that's how long my wild shape lasts.
I think we just wanted you to like mingle a bit, just
I
because you need
forget
to
how
expand
much-
your social circle.
I think my disguise only lasts an hour, doesn't it?
I was not given very clear instructions on the flock
We
portion
really need to
of this
give
plan.
More clear instructions when we tell you to have social interactions with
So
birds.
I go hang out with the birds a little, see what they're up to.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of try and get a feel out the crowd, see what sort of mood these birds are in.
What are they thinking?
I don't know. I can't read minds.
Why not? You could
They're
turn into one of them
birds, and they're just sort of birding.
Okay. I bird for
in 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
Okay.
And
Like I
then
just see
I'll,
a flock of birds, and I'm like,
I'll fly back and try and locate them
They're fairly easy to locate.
from the air.
oh, that's
Yeah.
probably not a good thing.
We're the
for
only
birds to
people
look at.
around who are casual right now.
It's the only Thomas and Badger.
Great TV show.
And what did you have Whole One disguised as?
What was Hole in Disguise does? I forget what their costume was.
I don't remember.
Maybe it was Trogdor.
I don't think it was Tractor.
It would have been nice.
Oh, Hole One was also Tristan.
Oh,
That's right, yes.
Yep. I have it all written here.
You were both Tristan.
Thomas was a large
Thomas Thomas and then
cormorant.
Treston.
Thomas looked like a large cormorant.
But disguise self is about to run out,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have like 15 minutes left.
I spot them.
Yeah.
I
I
hope you have a big hat to like cover your face.
fly down and land.
I remind the
nearby.
party that my disguise is
Okay.
going to be running out and that
Do you
I
transform
need to
back
get
or just
back.
stay as a sparrow?
Not in the middle of the road.
Okay.
I'll land on Thomas's shoulder.
the other
Okay.
one, because, badger
Yeah.
shoulder badger, and bird shoulder.
So are you
Thank
pretending
you.
to be like a druid or like a ranger right now? With all these like animal companions?
Oh.
Maybe you're like
Yeah.
multi-class into Disney princess?
It's possible, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to look casual when I'm covered with animals. But I need to head back. Otherwise, it's going to be bad.
You make your way back to the Nikolovich estate then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we see a
You-
lot of Tashir'anun just hanging around the city?
No.
Hanging around your
Well,
house.
Yeah, just like my house.
As we quickly but casually walk back to
Well, actually,
Nines'
now
house.
before we go back to my house, let's swing by the company house.
and scope it out.
Yeah, see if anyone.
just walking past, maybe peeking. No, not even peeking in, because we're not. We're in disguise, so we wouldn't be seen as.
Yeah, we recently had breakfast, so we don't need to eat.
Yeah, but yes,
Nice, but
it's
we don't
okay.
need to.
It's okay if we
We're on a
swing
mission.
past
Yeah, we're on
just
a
to see what's out.
All right.
And just along the way, we're observing, we're looking for Tashir'anun, we're looking for city guards, we're looking for people who are anxious or suspicious, but we're just walking past and then heading back to Nines' house.
All right. You make your way back into the city.
And if they chase us, we'll just go back to A1 Magic. And we'll be able to lose them
And we'll be
there.
lost. Yeah, we'll never find us.
Yeah.
There's not much more going on down by the Docklands. And it takes you a little bit to get back into the city.
If I find an inconspicuous spot, I will.
Yeah, that's
Turn
fine.
back into
I'll
Tristan.
turn back into
Yeah.
Tristan.
You can do that. It takes you roughly 15 minutes to walk there.
To the company house.
To get back to the city, yeah. It takes
Oh.
you, not too long. So you only have 15 minutes left of your disguises.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll find out what you see when we get back from break.
Well,
Okay.
at least
I
we'll-
thought you guys would have gotten on a 15-minute.
I
Comment.
did not catch
Yeah, I
that.
caught it.
You're always pretty good at catching when I do that, but yeah. So we're gonna take
Okay.
a quick break, folks. Then we'll be right back. Sit tight or don't. You can, go use the bathroom or
Get some
something.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some popcorn. Unless you're listening on podcast, then
Okay.
I don't know.
Keep your eye
Enjoy
on
the
the road.
short musical interlude.
We'll get
See
some
you
pretzels
soon.
to dip your hot dogs into.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thanks.
You're still watching, or you're watching, Dice and Dungeons.
I'm participating in that.
We're still here at the table with these people.
Oh, do I introduce myself again?
No,
No.
we know who you are.
Oh, am I still following that guy?
I'm trusting the order.
Yeah, when we left off, you all had made your way back to the city, realizing that your disguises,
Might
mainly,
Disguise.
mainly Ulseth, but not only, Holwyn also.
Oh, and also.
True.
Same timeline.
It'd be suspicious for a single Tristan.
Yeah, it would be.
They come in pairs.
Yeah.
Every Treston
So
comes in a pair.
you only have 15 minutes left on your disguises as you approach the city again, leaving the docklands. So, as you get close to the city, you've been tailing this small group for Tashir'anun.
Mr. Mask.
No,
I feel like we
different.
Oh, right.
Mr. Mask, as you have dubbed him, big group.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
City guards.
They are off ahead. You've since lost track of where they are.
also it'd be hard to follow them surrounded by
Yeah.
that much stuff.
Yeah.
Although it would make sense that we would follow them because you'd be curious. Everybody would be curious
But you're-
about what is this gigantic parade doing.
But when your disguise drops and you're in the armor of Ramardan.
I know. This is why I'm anxious
Why
to
did
get
we
back.
not give you a poncho? Jedis use ponchos all the time to hide their
Get you a
Jedi-ness.
poncho.
Yeah.
Is there a poncho shop? Of course there is. It's Tabaxavoy.
My disguise is about to drop, and so is Holwyn's. We need to move.
Yeah.
We duck into the nearest poncho shop.
No.
No, we go to the company house.
We walk past the company
We walk
house
past.
just to scope it out.
It's not that hard to get a poncho. Like, they come in very
It isn't going to help.
convention.
No.
I don't know if I can be in a party with people who are this anti-poncho.
No.
I'm not anti-poncho. Ponchos just wouldn't cover the leg armor. What he needs is a muumuu.
And we don't sell those in Tabaxavoy.
What?
That's suspicious.
Sometimes my brain works a little funny. And you said he's a muumuu. Obviously, a muumuu is a very large covering garment.
Yeah.
Or a cow.
If
Or
you're
a silly
six.
name for a cow.
If you're in our lower demographic.
Yeah, we haven't made any
Under
under 7 or
seven.
over 70 jokes in a while. So, you said, you need a muumuu, and that triggered a thought of,
No, don't.
you need a moomin.
Oh,
Oh.
And,
Okay, we duck into the valley.
I turned
and
into
then I was just
Snufkin.
picturing Ulseth dressed up like moomin.
I turn into
And I kind of love it.
Can I turn into Snufkin?
You've never seen Snufkin. Anyway, so
Any
you're
real stuff, we need to fill Tabaxavoy with crime.
so there does seem to be a little bit of indecision here.
no, I've
No.
decided.
We're doing
I'm,
that also.
I'm walking
Well, if there's no moo shops because it's Tabaxavoy, that's just
quickly.
silly.
I'm walking fairly quickly.
You
And we're
can,
going to. I don't care. Holwyn should come with me because Holwyn's disguise
Yeah, I mean,
is
you-
also going to fall.
there's not a problem with you guys making it to the company house before your
And we're
disguises
not
fall.
We're not stopping in because we're disguised, but we're checking out to see if there's any.
Okay.
Okay, but
Any
do they have a
Tashir'anun
sign that says the
activity.
lunch special of the day? That might. No? Okay. Then-
No,
We-
they're
we're
not a
just-
restaurant.
We're just scoping out if there's Tashir'anun watching the place, basically.
Watching it, or maybe even in it.
Well, there's typically not many windows at the company house's like bottom floor. That's just for protection of the people there.
Nines
So
is-
there's a couple. There's a few.
Yeah, Nines is not in disguise. Nines is always a badger, right?
Nine's
Well,
disguise is,
Occasionally,
if I remember correctly, the gaudy diamond. What
that bracelet, necklace, collar.
collar?
That's
Thank
the
you.
word. Yeah.
Yeah, that you had gotten for Sevens Tens.
But Nines could pop in and take a real quick look and pop out because Nines is still has the appearance of a company of blades member, right?
Sure. Everyone in the company of Blaze remembers me as a Badger.
Yeah, that's right. So
And the clerk definitely remembers me.
you who are nines, can you do that quickly?
Fine. Go in.
Look around.
You don't see any Tashir'anun in there.
Okay, well, I checked the cafeteria because they might be hiding there.
It's not that big of a building.
Yeah, but I'm thorough. I don't
mean,
know if you know this about Nines as a character.
You can just see the dining area from like the lobby.
Yeah, I know we're on a time limit, but they could be like in the back corner of the cafeteria dining area.
Grab some food and come back.
While this is happening, I'm using one of my bolts of cloth that I have to make a really quick poncho by just cutting a hole in the center for the head to slip through.
So you took like
I have a bolt of cloth.
Like
so
a
a square.
you take a yard,
Yeah.
kind of messily,
Yeah. I have like a dagger.
then-
I have some scissors or something.
and you just slice, and then
Cut a hole in the middle.
sort of angle it,
Yeah.
cut.
And slip a poncho over. Thomas.
Yay.
Just in case.
What about
Just in
Tristan?
case.
Tristan's not wearing armor of Ramardin.
True. That's fair.
What is he wearing?
Yeah, what's Tristan 2 wearing?
Hey, Tristan, what are you wearing?
Same thing regular Tristan wears?
Yeah.
Original flavor Tristan?
It's original flavor. Yeah.
Are they at least different colors, like a palette
No.
swap and like
No.
RPG? No, it's
No.
the same thing.
Same thing.
Hawaiian shirt, unbuttoned completely.
So are
Board
there,
shorts, nothing else.
are there any Tashir'anun with, casing the joint?
No.
Okay.
Not you see.
Are there any in the corners of the dining room?
No, but there's some delicious apple fritters.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I investigate the apple fritters real quick. They could be hiding, like,
In the fritter.
in the
You know,
fritter. So
Nines knows where his house is. You can just keep
Yeah,
going.
we just keep going.
it doesn't take that long to walk into it.
Yeah, but we just keep going because
It seems like you're trying to ditch Nines.
maybe.
Just so you know, this action takes less time than it did for you to say that we're going to ditch Nines.
Nines will remember that.
Oh my god.
We continue to Nine's house.
Okay. Along the way, your disguise does drop.
Of course. I'm now covered in a
You-
sheet.
You are
It's nice
It's a
fabric.
poncho.
you are aware of the time as the spell comes to an end. You know, you get kind of a ding,
Ouch.
ding, like you get like a little like bing bing in your head.
Yeah,
Has
the alarm
the
goes
alarm?
off.
What?
It has an alarm.
Yes, actually, if you look at most spells that have a
You
duration,
know exactly what.
you know exactly when it ends. There are very few that you don't know.
You do have a hat on too. We put a hat on you from Nines' closet.
Which
So
hat do we put on them?
Oh, we did not specify, but I'm guessing if it's from your teenage years, it's a fedora.
It could be a sombrero.
you do choose.
Or like a sombrero fedora hybrid.
Please move on from that.
Please move on. I'm wearing a really stupid hat
My
and a
senorita.
sheet.
It's not a sheet, it's nice fabric.
It's just.
Is it like a febrora? Or something?
I think
No, let's go into this. Let's do it.
Fedoro.
why don't you make me like
Madero.
a monk outfit?
Mask of
I have a
fedora.
dagger.
Yeah, okay.
and you're walking down the street while you're doing it. You're lucky I allowed you to do it.
No, I thought we were outside
we
while
were
Nines
outside
went
waiting
in.
for Nines to show back up.
I sort of figured that you guys kept kind of walking slowly
I mean,
down
that
the
makes
street.
sense.
Well, in any case, it's really pretty.
because he's not under a magical disguise. You guys are.
I mean, I'm kind of under a magical disguise.
I figured that you would have run in, scouted, taken a little longer than necessary to grab that.
It's called
fritter.
being thorough. That is
And-
what Nines will tell this party if
and
they ask
then-
questions, which they won't.
And then think through the spin on that, then return, and you would have, continue running down the street to catch up.
Because badgers.
As you
Yeah,
you all
badges.
kept walking at a pretty normal pace. as you feel the spell coming to an end, you duck down an alley so that the magical illusion fades as you're generally out of sight from any other eyes.
Yeah, that was a good thing to do.
However, at this point, you've, lost the other Tashir'anun because you had to duck out of sight.
Did you want me to keep following them? Yes, Tristan.
No, as a sparrow.
Well, you could be a different kind of bird.
The world is your oyster for birds.
Should I actually be following them as a bird?
No, you can follow them as
A Tristan. So I will solo follow them.
Okay.
Be very careful.
Tristan's always careful.
You're going to solo follow them
Apparently.
as Tristan.
Apparently. That's what I'm doing.
So, we'll let you continue to tail them. We're going to break off from that to focus on the group heading to Nine's house. What is your goal at Nine's house? What are you doing?
Hiding out and taking a short rest so I can disguise myself again.
Okay.
And spying on people. Keep an eye out the window.
Well, yeah. We have a view out the window, so we'll use that. Can we take the spyglass with us? Can we borrow that?
If you had the presence of mind to ask for it before you ducked off.
Yeah, which you didn't.
No.
And I was thinking about food. Spying is hot.
I mean, I'm happy to give it to you. I'm just wondering
Well,
if you...
No, we didn't until it was too late.
Okay.
But that's the goal.
So-
is to, the skies is worn out. We found some things. We don't want to be caught doing something. And I think I'm pretty sure I can disguise myself after a short rest.
Didn't we get, dole disguises?
Yeah.
You did.
Is that what they were using? Or was it his disguise self?
You used disguise self, but you do have the Dole disguises, which can disguise you. They're just disguise self. So it's good for an hour. There's I never really went into it too much, but there's 2 charges on each of the devices, and then it recharges overnight. So when you take a long rest, it recharges.
So if you wanted to keep following them, you
I
could have
forgot
used...
about the dual disguise.
Yeah. But that's how Holland was disguising himself.
So I have a whole nother charge.
Yeah, because Hohen doesn't have anything else.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 charges. Hohen has 1.
And that's where you're at right now. So you disguise yourselves. It's faded. You've made your way back to Nine's place. Because you had said to me you wanted to know if there was anyone lurking around outside that establishment.
Yeah.
There is not.
Tashir'anun's not into nice instruments.
Apparently not.
They need some bards in their parties. They help a lot.
They do.
Does Nines catch up with them at that point?
Yeah. Now you
Bold of
split
you
up
assume I followed
to go
doing that.
keep
Following
track
these Tashir'anun.
because they didn't go towards, Nine's house.
I'm going to very casually give myself pass without a trace.
Okay. You now have passed that trace, so we'll take that into consideration. As you follow them, they don't really pay any attention to anybody around them. They're not turning around, they're not looking back. all those sorts of things that you might do to see if someone's following you.
I will.
They don't really seem to do that.
Out of an abundance of caution. When there's opportune moments, maybe there's like a crowd or something, I will periodically just change my shape to be a random different person. So it's not the same person following them all the time.
Sure. Every once in a while, you find an opportunity to maybe duck behind a tree,
Or an alley.
a shrub, alley. Go inside a restaurant or a shop real quick. Shift. Then pick back up. They simply walk down the street. Not really bothering anybody. They stay tightly in their group. They make a sort of diamond shape. One taking point, two watching the flanks, one taking up the rear. But none of them seem to be engaging in checking all the angles. It seems as though they're at ease. Like they don't feel threatened here at all. After following for a while, they arrive at a market. You're in an area that you're unfamiliar with. You haven't had that much time to explore the city of Tabaxavoy. This market seems pretty large, but you don't know if it is one of the larger ones in the city or not. It looks like they're going up to several vendors and discussing things for a little bit. Each of them splits off to tackle someone else, some other vendor. What do you do?
Well, I'll get a little closer so I can overhear what they're talking about. I'm guessing they're probably negotiating supplies, but I will.
Okay. Why don't you roll a stealth check for me? You can roll with advantage, given that you can change your appearance, and you're in a crowd, and it doesn't appear that they really care if you're there.
23.
23.
I'm bad at stealth,
They're not even looking for you.
so it shouldn't be a high DC.
Okay.
You're not even there.
Why don't you make
That's-
a...
I'm just looking at how stealthy I would have been.
No,
Yes.
I wouldn't be much better.
No, you would.
You're our furball rogue at this point.
Yeah. Heavy
Our
armor.
over 7 foot rogue.
That's a good name for a band.
7 foot rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Why don't you make a perception check as you attempt to hear what they're saying?
17.
Okay. You just hear something about warehouse docks. You can't make out much. It's a lot of ambient noise. It's hard to parse.
Ask them to repeat themselves.
What does the vendor look like they sell?
They've got, looks like grains, baskets of grains. It's a little unclear. You try not to get too nosy, but you think you see maybe some, like, oats, possibly some flour. After a minute, the Tashir'anun that you were monitoring walks off and makes his way a little bit further down. and stands next to one of his compatriots, still talking to a different vendor.
Oh, I think they're just getting supplies. I don't know how long should I be following these people.
We'll find out who they're ordering from. Then we can beat that vendor up and disguise ourselves as that vendor. Sneak onto their ship.
Is there anything you want to do?
I guess I'll get a little closer to try and overhear these two talking to each other.
Okay. This time the vendor looks like it sells some meats. Why don't you make another perception check?
25.
You managed to get yourself into a little bit better position this time. You overhear warehouse 1453.
Is that the warehouse?
You never bothered to take notice of what number the warehouse they were at was, so you can't be sure. What is clear is they want supplies. In this case, some quantity of meats.
Are they handing like cash over or anything?
It seems like the arrangement is cash on delivery. But there looks to be a small deposit.
Okay, I think this is
Just a-
supplying for an expedition.
Just 1 gold gets handed over.
Still like $30.
So you come back then
I think I'm just
and
gonna.
report.
It looks like yeah. I'll just come back and report, I think.
You don't want to follow them anymore?
Well, how long are they? I'll see if they leave the market in a reasonable time.
After they talk to a few guards, they do head out of the market. They only spend like about 20-25 minutes in the market. Doesn't really take very long for them to conclude their business before they leave. Do you still want to follow them, or do you want to head back?
What time is it?
11:48.
It is, I don't know,
Check my dance watch.
probably around 11 o'clock in the morning.
I'll follow them a little bit. So they can get lunch at the Nikolovich house without me.
Okay, so you're sticking with them,
I'll stick with them.
and you guys are going to have lunch?
You can also.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of lunch?
I don't know. What's your mom make? Yes, I will follow them.
Okay. After the market, they seem to perhaps take up a bit more of a cautious approach. Why don't you make another stealth check?
With advantage?
Yeah, you still have a pretty strong position here.
$28.
Okay. They wander through the city for a while. This time you're fairly certain they're trying to avoid any sort of, well, maybe not avoid detection, but they're trying to observe anyone who could be following them. You notice this behavior change and take a more cautious tact. They spend about half an hour wandering through the city, doubling back on their own path, before they stop at an unassuming home. It's very clear from the size of the building that it is a private residence. It's nothing particularly large or interesting. If it wasn't for the music shop attached to the front of the Nikolovich house. It would look much the same as that. They have one person stand outside. The other 3 go in. That person stands off in an alleyway. It seems trying to stay out of obvious line of sight here. What do you do?
Full on assault. You can do it.
I pull out my dagger. Do you want me to recon more?
I don't know. I mean, we're not there.
I know.
You should consult Dole. See what Dole has to say.
Hey, doll?
Do you really want to call Dole?
No.
Okay.
Why not? He has a lot of good advice.
I don't think so. Do I? That would be like pretty suspicious.
Talking into a rock.
Yeah.
Just put it under your sleeve and be like,
Talking to your wrist like you're
Just like, hi, can you hear me, guys? Like that.
is my sleeve blocking the microphone?
So how much time has passed? It's been
Like an
about
hour.
45 hours.
How long does your spell last?
What spell?
Passive without trace.
Oh, I can up it whenever I want with my staff.
Oh, that's right.
So that's not a concern.
I would say just
This is like them being suspicious.
yeah, they've got somebody outside watching for something in an inconspicuous way while the other 3 are doing something.
Are
Can
there
be playing
like
poker for all we
windows
know.
open in this house?
No, actually, everything seems to be totally closed up.
Okay. I will duck out of sight and turn into
In Tabaxavoy?
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
any-
don't do
I need
that.
something that
I
can
wouldn't
sneak.
turn into any little.
Just turn into a regular cat.
I need to turn into something that can get through like under a door or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's you're getting pretty risky there.
What do you mean?
By being a mouse?
By going in or being a mouse?
Well, by
Well, mostly the mouse thing.
mostly the mouse.
Maybe a
thing.
moth?
A moth, cats and no. You can't really do anything small that's quick moving.
I turn into a moth.
You turn into a moth.
Yeah. And I fly casually, like a regular casual moth, and I will squeeze through the door.
Okay.
And there's 3 Tashir'anun with bug nets. Just
Sitting on the other side.
Just swatting away at any flying insect.
Okay. So you've turned into a moth, and you're trying to get inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the way that sounds.
The Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Roll a perception check and see if you can find,
A gap.
any way in.
28.
Sure.
I go down the chimney.
like Santa Claus.
I
Like
hope
moth
it's summer
claws.
and the furnace isn't running.
You could burn up as they
Or like there's a poorly installed window or something.
in Tabaxavoy.
You managed to find some
Little gap.
little gap.
I'm not like a
Yeah.
big moth. I'm like one of those little like
Yeah. You managed to find some gap. It wasn't about whether there is a gap.
it's about
It's about whether
I
you
find
can
it.
find the gap. So you make your way inside, they are nowhere to be seen.
In the house? How big? Well, it's a pretty sizable house.
Use your moth echolocation.
I think moths echolocate.
Maybe they just don't like telling us they can.
I flutter about and look through the house.
No sign of them.
Does it look... Okay, does the house look dusty, like no one's been here in a long time? Does it look like it's a house that's still being... Like, is there food, like apple, you know?
There's definitely no food. And it doesn't look dusty.
So it looks kept up, but not supplied.
Yeah.
So it's like a front. Maybe they're part of the Thieves Guild.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, just
Thieves Guild Tashir'anun
metagaming,
edition.
but we don't know what is happening.
Well,
They obviously snuck out somehow.
I do actually have a fair amount of experience of secret passages and stuff after joining several Thieves Guilds that have them.
You have a punch card with how many Thieves Guilds you joined.
Yeah. But I don't think, as a moth, I'm well equipped to finding a secret passage. So I'm going to note the location, fly out of the house again, see if that single Tashir'anun is still in the alley.
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay. I have two options here. Option one, I fly back
And report.
and report. Option two, I hold person on this Tashir'anun and force him under a geas and have him spell all the secrets.
Well, based off how we learned from the last ones we invaded the mind privacy of, they don't really seem to know much about what's going on.
True.
I mean, you might get some information about
This building.
this specific building,
Right.
but if we're gonna attack them anyway, because what else are we gonna do? Let them just walk around Tabaxavoy?
It just has the risk of me being alone, and if they succeed on my old person, I'd have to run for it and break cover. But so it's more likely I should just head back.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can follow up.
We know the location of the house at least, so I will fly back.
So
The whole way?
Well, I have 4 hours. No, I
So
will.
you're saying, I'm gonna use it.
while we're back at the house, I say, you who are nines,
What?
do you or any member of your family have any connections with the city guards?
Vladimir.
Hey, Mom!
Sorry. I was in a very different mindset to that. No, what is it? My sweet little Niccolo.
Yes, I am sweet. Do you have any connection with city guard?
Why would I have connection with
I
City
don't
Guard?
know. I've been gone a while.
What do you think I am? Who do you think I am?
You know lots of people.
Just because your uncle is captain of city guard.
Why would I know City Guard? Do you think I am doing something? Do you think I've gotten myself into some nefarious thing? Is that what you think? Is this how low that you think of your mother?
But no, how low I think of myself.
Your mother who birthed you into this world, who raised you, who gave you milk, who gave you food, shelter.
You could be playing bridge with a wife
now-
of guard,
now
Captain.
Now you think I'm some sort of criminal. This is what you think of me.
I
Okay,
think you
fine.
play bridge with people.
Then why, if you think I play bridge with people, you think I would play bridge with criminals? With people who the city guard would be interested in?
Underground Tabaxavoy tournaments.
Why would I have any relation with city guard? No one you know is in city guard. None of our family is in city guard. Well, why would we have any relation? Why are you even asking?
Why is she so defensive?
Have you not met my mother?
I'm
No, you haven't. You're not even here.
I'm a moth.
Then why can't I understand you as I can't speak with animals?
At some point, a moth flutters into the house.
While we're fighting over Nine's asking his mom about the city guard, and her getting very defensive about it. Like, way too defensive.
Okay.
The conversation goes way too long, and it makes everyone uncomfortable.
The moth flutters
Everybody's
in between,
being really uncomfortable.
Well, actually, only Olsef is uncomfortable. Everyone else
I'm
is
used to it.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
When I asked
some of them
the
were joining
question,
in.
I expected either a yes or no answer, but
Not in this
that
household.
was really pretty
Typical.
naive, wasn't it?
To be expected, yeah.
Yeah,
I flutter in between the argument.
you're gonna get spotted.
By
So
whom?
you are now returning to the
Yes.
Nikolovich estate. Okay.
Yeah. The argument continues for a while, I assume.
Okay. The argument continues to some degree, but it doesn't go on for all that long. It's a fairly inane argument before Nines finally says, I just wanted to know if there was any connection because of a whole bunch of weird people, and I wanted to ask a city guard about it without being too suspicious. And then your mom goes, oh,
Well, you should have said that.
Well,
you could have
and-
just
Why didn't you
started
start
with
with that?
so that's the end of that. You are now back there.
Yeah.
Do you still have the moth wings?
I'm still more. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you still have the wings, but
Yeah.
but you're not.
And the proboscis.
Yeah, okay. Can you change back but keep the wings?
No. I go up to Nine's ear and go.
God, the cleaning cup!
And then I turn into myself.
Like on my shoulder?
No, next to you.
Okay.
You're a tiny badger that would crush you.
I'm actually a pretty big badger.
You're a sizable badger, but you're still smaller than.
I'm mostly fluff.
You're a fluffy badger.
So I just report everything. I go, hi, I was a moth.
Oh, that was you fluttering around.
Yeah.
Oh, good thing I didn't swat you.
I mean, I would have just turned into me.
No.
It would have been fine.
Yeah, we have to test it out.
I'm already me.
I know I was practicing.
Oh, okay. You don't have to. Anyway, I report and take a short rest while I do it so I can get my charges back.
Sure,
Yeah, we all do that. We're
Okay.
resting while we're hearing
Well,
the reports.
I'm reporting.
you do that. So you take an hour as a group, and you all benefit from a short rest.
I want my wild shapes back. Yeah.
Did we say any suspicious activity while we were spying on people in that hour? Just not
looking
walking by
out-
this
we're
house?
Looking out the window. We're taking.
You don't
turns
see
looking
anyone
out
walk
the
by the house, no.
Mrs. Dines, do you know anyone who lives at this address? As I repeat whatever address it was.
No, I don't know anyone who lives over there.
Is that a good part of town?
It's fine. Perhaps a slightly poorer district, but not quite poor. It is not the lowest income area of city. Is laborers. Is they do okay,
Do
but
they have a lot of vacation rentals there?
no.
Oh, okay. It had the vibe of a vacation rental. It was clean, but it didn't have food.
No, no one goes to vacation in that part of city. It is far away from coast. Is no attractions around it. No, hotels are in a whole different area. All resorts and other things along waterfront.
How come you didn't get defensive when she asked a question?
Do you know anyone in the city guard?
Oh, no, I don't, unfortunately. Do you need help with something?
Oh my god, flip the table.
Well, I just. What's wrong with Nines?
I don't know. He's always so cranky.
Okay.
I'm going to my angry chandelier!
So, you who are Azoria.
Yeah.
You found something about warehouse 1453. Should we go on another warehouse sneak
And just, I mean,
and check out warehouse?
I'm assuming it was the warehouse that they're docked at.
Well, we could find out for sure.
Hey, Volodymyr, you spend a lot of time at the docks.
I mean, not particularly
But
more
you're
than
like
anybody
best
else.
friends with the dockmaster?
Well, yes, but why would we hang out at the dock?
Because that's where he is.
You know, it's kind of weird thing to go and visit your friends at work.
Is it? I lived in a village where there wasn't really an economy, so.
So you who are Volodymyr.
Have you ever like worked
Oh,
at the
never
shop or
mind.
something,
There
and
won't
then
be
like
monologue.
your friend shows up and they're like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm fine. I'm working here." And they're like, "We just stopped in to see you," and you're like, "So you can have fun while I'm here working. Why are you here doing this? It makes no sense." Then they're like, "Can we order coffee from you?" And you're like, "I guess this is fine." Feel kind of strange
I'm a
doing this.
mercenary. I'm always working.
Yeah, but you're not like working at the store getting paid. No, I
And
don't go visit him down
I'm
at the
working all the
docks.
time, and my friends come up and ask me for food constantly.
You have different job. You don't have a retail job. You don't have like office job. You don't have job that requires you to be specific location every day in, every day out, and all these things.
You see those shiny ships? Is that about where warehouse 1453 would be?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, see? Confirmation.
Probably. So
I don't think it's a good confirmation.
Why not? You don't trust your brother?
No! You know how much bills he put on me?
Nikolai, why don't you not trust me?
Because you keep putting things on my bill that I have no idea about.
and then you make Owen pay for them, and that's not fair.
They're my manager. They're supposed to pay for things.
You don't like my familial connection? Is that what you're saying?
But no!
That you would not like to share your good fortune? With
I'm
your
not
brother?
your remote
Do you,
wallet.
do you know anyone on the city guard?
Oh, I know a couple people.
Okay.
Oh.
So, what's the... What?
You who are Volodymyr,
What do you want?
do you want to go ask the city guards about these people?
That's up to you.
Yeah.
They're your people.
So, if you know people in the city guard, could you introduce us to them so we could ask them some questions? Or do you not know them in that way?
It depends on the questions you want to ask.
Oh, we would like to ask them about these people who are Tashir'anun and what they know about them.
There are Tashir'anun here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's like 3 ships of them.
Yeah, did you not notice? Did you not look out the window?
Yeah, weren't you joining us when we were gawking at the window? Weren't you wondering why the window was just covered in coffee still?
No, I was gone by the time you were awake this morning.
Why?
I was meeting at city government, doing job. I am
a
official
diplomat.
Tabaxavoy and emissary.
So early in the morning.
Well, yes. And
What a
like
terrible
early in the
job.
morning, I was there at 7 a.m.
So we would like to
Why do you
yes,
look at me like that, Nines?
there
You
are
look at me like-
Tashir'anun all over the city. They are at warehouse 1453
And in a secret house.
and in a secret house.
Well, I don't like these Tashir'anun. They seem bad. I looked at those magical things you did, Nines, and they seem a little culty.
Right?
Well, then maybe perhaps you would be interested in joining us when we ask your friends in the city guards what they know about them.
Well, yeah. When they get off shift tonight, we could ask them what is going on.
We could meet them in an informal way.
In the meantime, we can sneak into that secret house.
Do you want to sneak into the secret house?
We could plan a sneak in.
We have not reconnoitered. We do not know if the door is locked. We do not know if the windows are locked.
There aren't any apples.
There is no food.
So we'll,
No,
have,
she just said there's no apple. She didn't say there was no
we'll
food.
have to pack our own food.
Uh-huh. Do you want to do that now?
Well, if Volodymyr's friends in the city watch aren't off until tonight,
I used my disguise self again, but this uses up Owen's last one.
Are we going somewhere right now?
They're going to sneak into we're going to reconnoiter the
We kind
secret house.
We should try and figure out what the Tashir'anun are doing in the city, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go kill them. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that.
We killed them all.
I will lead them.
Killed them all. The threat is over. Oh, there we go.
I'll
We
lead,
go home, which is
we
easy
won
for
the
me.
game.
I'm already at home.
I lead them to this.
Directed by George Lucas.
I lead them towards the house.
Okay, you do that.
Are we walking casually again?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have your disguises back on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, I
we
put
are.
a gaudy collar back on. Or I never took it off.
No, why would you take it off?
Oh, it's kind of nice. Now they've had it on for a while.
Mine.
Possession's 9 times of the law. 100% of the law at Tabaxavoy.
You head back to that house. The one who was standing outside is no longer there.
That's handy.
And
Because he's lying down dead, right?
no,
Okay.
there's no one there outside. And it seems like no one is in the house that you can see. I mean, there's no movement inside. There's no one standing outside.
How do you want to do?
We'll knock on the door. And we'll say we're city inspectors.
Yeah. Sure.
We look like city inspectors.
Yeah. Especially.
What?
Where?
We don't have to say anything to anybody. No one's answered the door.
Did we knock yet?
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from?
We are electricity inspector. That was an all-set idea.
Yeah, I got it from Olsef. I just made it better.
No.
Just walk up. City inspection
Yeah.
for reasons.
There,
We're
pretend-
inspecting the city.
Pretend we're
there have been
door-to-door
there have been
salesmen.
reports of a leak of noxious fumes.
No, we're door-to-door salesmen.
We're selling doors.
Oh, we're selling doors.
Specifically to that door.
Yes. Obviously,
Okay.
we are salespeople,
That makes a lot more sense than just being city inspector.
especially since they're dressed
Although
definitely like
I
sales. Yeah.
That poncho is selling the salesman.
I do love
Bring the
that
poncho.
Olseth,
I look like
who
Korma.
grew up in a forest swamp and by himself alone
Not the whole time.
Is very
for most of the
inspector
time.
For a while. Yeah.
for 40 years.
Soria, who grew up in a swamp.
Thank you.
Both of you are apparently on board for the yes, we shall be door-to-door salespeople. That's what we'll do. This is the thing we're familiar with.
No, that's why it'll be good.
You two who've never lived in a city house.
Or a place with doors.
But we visited lots of cities. We've been in Nordfeld. We've been in.
You might know that there's no
We blew up a city.
hotel
Iron Man.
door to hotel door salespeople. There's no one in the world who like goes into the Hilton and just goes,
Hi, would you like to buy a door?
Kirby hotel door to hotel door salesperson
this?
here. Would you like a new 80-pound vacuum?
How about this? I just put on pass without a trace and we sneak in the building.
At least Nines would have heard of a door-to-door salesperson.
Well, then Nine's coaching us.
Let's just sneak in.
I can be
Is
an
it-
acting.
Sneak in.
Is the door locked?
We have to sneak up to the door and
Well,
check.
let's
Okay, we're very aggressive door-to-door salesmen where we just walk into your house.
we walk.
We
walk
sneak up quietly to the door and test it
Test it as the
without
door
knocking
locked.
yet.
Okay. The door is locked.
Okay, there you go.
You
Is
very
there- I
subtly
detect
check
magic.
for this.
I detect magic.
You don't detect any magic.
Okay, I inform everyone that there's no magic.
I tried to pick the lock.
Okay, you do that.
I don't pick the lock.
You know, if that is what you want to tell me, you can tell me that.
I rolled a 8.
Maybe it's a crappy
You
lock.
do not pick the lock.
Owen, do you want to pick the lock? We're investigating. We're investigative.
And you're going to get into places.
Holwyn rolls. And
Why are you rolling? We want you to pick the lock. I don't know why you're rolling around the ground over here.
Sorry. Roll day.
Holwyn rolls.
And?
You'll find out next week.
I knew it was coming. I knew it. Will you remember next week?
Do we have detect traps?
Yes.
Can somebody do that? We never looked for traps.
Detecting traps is not really a thing in 5e.
Oh, well then.
That's something that that's a legacy idea now.
As a spell.
Yeah, and in large part because 5e was created as less of a sort of dungeon crawler build of the game and more of a broader, more social version of the game.
So you can investigate and check for traps, but there's not
a specific ability. Whereas, rogues could. And it was also always a little unclear, what exactly that meant. Did it just, you just knew?
There was, trap sense
Yeah.
was a thing, but, but you can, inspect and, look for tripwires and stuff.
Yeah, so, looking for traps is still a thing you can do, but it's not a bespoke skill set like it used to be.
We'll ask Holman to do that before Holman goes in first.
If we remember.
Yeah, if we remember.
Yeah.
If you remember.
It'll take a week to open this door.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Owen's really working.
Really, it's either a really tough. Oh, it's like you. It takes 5 minutes no matter what. This is what time it takes a week.
Yeah. And on that note, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, stay safe. We love you.